When Mark's pressed for time and I'm bugging him for a nice waterfowl dish, he usually whips us up a quick stir fry. Mark, tell us a little bit about the stir fry you're making and what ingredients go in and how you're cutting that.
First, what I'm doing here is cutting the breast, and I'm cutting it in a way that it's more tender.
Now, is this a duck or a goose?
This is duck.
Okay.
This is duck, and a lot of people tend to think you can just take the breast and cut it one way, eh?
Right.
And what we're going to do today here is just give you a little bit of a insight on how to cut it so it's more tender for you.
You bet.
Okay.
You've told me about all the different grains.
What we're going to do here is we're going to show how to cut this breast very, very, so it's tender. The lines on here, a lot of people don't look at them very well, but they turn. And as they go, they turn like this. This is your wishbone end, this is your tail end. What I do is I cut it along that, and that shows your grains are going straight like this. Now what you want to do is you want to cut against that grain.
Or across it.
Or across it, whichever. And see, when you cut it across, you can see on there that it's not lines anymore. It's all little pieces. That's the way you want it. And that will give you a much more tender cut of meat. And then once you've done that piece, you take your tail end, and if you look at it, your lines go this way on this one, but this way here.
There's a tendon line.
They go here. So you just take your knife, and you fillet that piece right off, take it, cut it. Now you're against your grains again, across your grains. Then you just take this one, because the lines are going this way, you just take it, you cut it this way. And it just...
Oh, and it does make it so tender.
If you cut your breast this way, duck, goose, especially goose, you will have a much more tender stir fry. It'll be more tasty. You won't have to worry about having to cook it so long to think it has to be tender.
That's right.
Because if you cook it too long, and then it's not going to be good anyways.
Well, stir fry is a quick dish, right?
That's right. You bet. But this way here will give you a much better quality cut of breast. And
Excellent.
that's just where you go with it. And
Now
you can even tell that that's really tender. Look at that. It just falls apart in your hand.
Now, for your stir fries, you use just the breast meat. You set the legs and thighs aside for some of your other dishes.
That's correct, yeah. I just use the breast for my stir fries. And then we're going to get ready here to do it in the pan there. And then I'm going to finish up the vegetables while you're doing some cooking.
Okay, just show me what you want me to do.
I'll show you what to do, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, that sounds great.
All right.
And one of the fun things about this for me is I've always had the dishes that you prepare.
Right.
I've never been part of the dishes that you prepare, although sometimes, we've gotten you some of the birds.
Yes.
So you certainly have no trouble getting them on your own, but this is the first time that I'll be doing any of this. So I'm learning as I'm doing.
Oh, sure you are. And you know what, when you go home there, or when you're at home now, as you're watching me do it, you'll be able to do it at home.
Oh, yeah. Well, my wife has already got her order in for a goose parmesan. So.
Well, there you go. We're on.
Okay. Well,
let's start this meat here. You can start putting some into the wok there.
Okay.
And don't be shy. Grab good handfuls. Don't burn yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
And you said about half of this meat?
Yeah, you can stir it as you're putting it in there.
Okay.
Yeah. And then when you're done putting half of it in there, you can take a tablespoon of that seasoning and put it over top of it.
Okay.
I'm just going to get these vegetables
one
finished up.
tablespoon here, like so?
Yep, you bet. Throw her in there. That's good, just like that. Okay, give it a stir. Hold the pan. Gives you a better, easier.
Right.
Go right from underneath. Yep.
Like that?
You want to use a spoon?
So pull it up like that?
Better? Yep.
Well, or like this maybe?
Yeah, you can do it like that if you feel that's more comfortable. That's okay. Yep. Don't be shy. Like, beat it up. It's not going to kill it.
Right. It's already dead. We already did that.
Yeah.
And again, are we going to cook this partially, Mark?
Yes, just partially.
Okay. So tell me what you're doing, because you do something differently with your vegetables than what I notice other people do.
I like to chop my vegetables ahead of time, and mix them all together. Some people, they keep the celery and the carrots all separate. I put it all together and I mix it and I leave them like this for a couple of hours.
Yep.
And the reason I do is all the flavors from the celery, the carrots, the peppers, the onions, the broccoli, kind of blends all together, eh?
Yep.
So when you eat that and cook it, you don't have to wait for that blending to be in with your stir fry. It's already there, all
Right.
that flavor through the vegetables, and that's why I do it that way.
Well, and I didn't really realize that you did that until I had a piece of a carrot. I pulled a piece of carrot out of there when you weren't looking, and I know it almost tasted like you'd seasoned it already.
Right, exactly.
And it's just picking up flavors from the
It's
other,
just picking up
from the
flavors
celery or whatever
from
else. is
all
in
the
there.
vegetables that are mixed together. And I find that works. It gives it much more of a pizzazz to it.
Oh, it does. Well, you do a lot of little things, things that maybe people would overlook that make a huge difference. For example, the way you cut this meat
Yes,
to get it to be tender the whole time.
that's
The
right.
way you do your vegetables, just a little thing, like putting your vegetables together ahead of time, makes such a difference
Oh,
in
it
the way
does.
this cooks. And it
It
makes
does,
it,
you bet.
it's interesting because everything that you do in the setup makes your meals come together quickly.
Well, exactly. Now, see how this meat is right now?
Yep,
It's ready for the rest.
ready for the rest.
Yes.
You gonna spread it out and
Yep.
get the rest in the middle?
You start
Okay, am I
putting-
going to add more seasoning or am I?
Yes, you will once you're done putting the rest of that meat in there.
Okay.
This time you're going to throw all this garlic in there
You
too.
bet. Mhm.
I said, you notice I'm not putting the vegetables I'm chopping right now in with these ones.
Yeah, why
The
is that?
The reason I'm not, because they haven't sat yet.
Okay,
So once I'm done, I'll mix them all together,
right.
and then I'll leave them sit. Then I'll add them with them.
I'm amazed at this seasoning that you use in almost everything that you have made. Tell me about this seasoning again.
My seasoning,
Yeah, your little
I use it.
universal.
That's my base seasoning. I
Okay.
use it on everything I cook.
Okay.
It gives good flavor. It acts as a great base, and it doesn't matter what I cook. It does not overpower the flavor of anything.
Great.
It just works as a base.
And that seasoning again is 5 tablespoons of seasoned salt.
2 tablespoons of black pepper, 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, unsalted,
Nope,
not
okay.
granulated garlic powder.
Just garlic powder, straight
That's
up.
correct.
Okay.
You can use all this garlic in there. It's chopped garlic. There's
Okay.
pre-chopped garlic already.
Right.
That just makes it a little bit easier. You can do your own garlic if you want.
Okay. This is 125 milliliter, and it's about a half of a container.
Yeah, and that'll do. If you buy one of those, that'll do 2 stir fries.
Okay. Wow. I might just run off with the meat.
Yeah.
I like the veggies too, but get this blended. Well, this is definitely a kind of a guy's way of cooking. As I'm slopping it all over the counter, first of all. But we don't spend a lot of time chopping our own garlic, do we?
Well, I do, but not many guys do.
Yeah.
I buy it because sometimes if you have a lot of stuff to cook, it's easier, it's quicker. But if you have the time and you're only doing one for yourself, fresh
Right.
garlic, it is better.
Well, true enough. But I've made the reference to duck camp and deer camp and all
Right,
that.
right,
I'm telling
exactly.
you, when you're going to deer camp or duck camp or whatever camp you're going to with the guys, and you want to make
Yeah.
this meal, you're just as quick to go get the jarred garlic and spend the time telling stories
Oh, for sure.
instead of chopping garlic.
We're going to add some stuff to it right away here. What do we got there? Worcestershire sauce?
What's this? We call it.
What do you call it?
What's this here sauce?
What's this here sauce? Well, you
Worcestershire
can't-
steak
yeah.
sauce. Whatever.
But that one's a little bit different. It's got garlic mix in it,
You bet.
so it has that flavor in there.
Okay.
So let's pour that in there right now.
How much of this?
A quarter of that.
A quarter.
Yes.
Okay, now you're challenging me.
More. A little more. Okay, good.
Okay, so there we have a third of that. It's
Okay,
a
a
quarter
third,
if you say it's a
whatever.
quarter.
Okay, now you got that in there. We got
It's in.
some like a stir fry mix here. you can add
The
to
powdered
it.
stir fry mix?
Yeah.
Okay. Here, this is a broccoli beef stir fry seasoning.
Yeah,
Okay.
just gives it a little base.
Yeah, your
Just
favorite
pour it
brand.
right on there. Yep, stir that in.
I got to ask you this. It's a question I've wanted to ask you as we've done each of these. Would I be able to get a job in your restaurant? doing
No.
this? I didn't think so.
Yeah, maybe as an undercut
Would
sous
I
chef.
be? I didn't even get would I be out. Yeah, if everybody called in
Well,
sick.
hey, I'm
if
a-
everybody called in sick, I can
I'm
wash
a straight
dishes.
shooter, you
That's
know that.
it,
I wouldn't
that's-
lie to you and say
that's
yeah.
it. Well, you might be an honest person, but I've seen you shoot,
Oh yeah, okay.
so that's right.
All right, now next step after that, add there's another liquid stir fry,
Yep. Stir fry
whole bottle.
sauce, the whole bottle.
a whole bottle.
Okay.
Now I'm just gonna do this while this is just, don't worry, I'm just putting some
That's
red wine in here.
Okay.
Okay,
That was about a cup.
yeah. Actually, that was about a half a cup. That's how I
So-
cook.
well, at what point did we start using big gulps in the kitchen?
Always. Always, always, always. It's fun.
That's right.
I love to cook, and
I love the way
when I
you-
cook, I enjoy it. I enjoy to cook because you can create. You're the one that's creating it.
well,
like
you've
it-
created it. I'm just
It's well,
Kinda-
you're doing it too. It's
kind of
it's all.
slapping it together.
I'm
for
just
you.
going to take a look at it here. Just
Yep.
give it here for a second.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is coming along real nice because we don't want to cook it. It's all the meat's pretty well almost done. We're going to add a few more things to it.
Tell me what you want.
We want the teriyaki here a little bit.
Okay.
Okay,
It's about a third of a bottle of teriyaki.
and mine's 57.
Okay.
Quarter cup, half cup.
Half bottle. Yeah.
There's some cornstarch in a bowl there. You want to give it a mix there?
Oh, this is kind of like saying go boil some water, isn't it?
Well, sometimes.
Cornstarch on the stir fry.
Well, that's going to
Thicken it up.
give it a, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, I was looking at all the liquid we were putting in, and so about how much cornstarch do we have in here?
That's a whole, is it a whole box? No, that's about, I don't know, 3/4 of a box in there.
Okay.
I don't need the whisk in there.
All right.
Just hold it. Okay, I'm going to just thicken up here.
And you always stir when you're adding the cornstarch.
Yes,
What does that accomplish?
so you don't get it lumpy.
Keeps the lumps out.
Yes. But when you do it like that, it shouldn't get lumpy on you.
Okay. Once you mix it.
Shouldn't. And
Okay.
I'm gonna give you these vegetables. Put them in there.
Right in here.
Yes.
Now these are the ones that didn't sit for
Yeah.
4 hours.
So just give them a little shake.
You want me to put the top on it and do it like you
No,
do?
yeah, you can do it that way if you want. Sure.
Mark's famous veggie mixer.
Yeah, just give them a shake.
Will this product be available for sale?
You bet. I'm turning off the wok here because we got enough heat to finish what we're gonna do.
Okay.
Okay, great. Now you can put the rest of these in with those because we
Okay.
need this bowl.
These are our pre-mixed vegetables, the ones that
That's
sat
correct.
for 4 hours or so.
Yep.
Okay.
Now I want you to sample your masterpiece here when you're done doing that. Perfect. You don't have to wipe it out. That's fine. Just like
Okay.
that. There you go. Give that a taste.
Oh my. That's really good.
Okay. Now we'll take that out.
That's really good.
And what we're going to do here, I'll get you to, because these woks tend to grab that handle there. We're going to dump the meat into here.
Okay.
Okay. There we go. Perfect. Now we're going to do the vegetables.
Okay. You just leave the sauce in
Yeah,
there?
just leave it just like that. And a little more olive oil. And that's all you really need. That's going to get hot again. Once that's heated up, we're going to add the vegetables to it. And what we're going to do too is we're going to still add a little more. We're going to probably add a little more spice to it because we want to spice the vegetables just a little bit, okay?
All right.
And everything that we used in here, we could use in the vegetables if you want. You really don't need to.
Right.
Okay? Okay. All right.
Sounds like that's ready.
I'm just going to grab here. There we go. Am I making a mess?
No, you're making a stir fry.
Okay. Whoop, I knew that was going to happen. That's all right.
Tell you, it's
It's
guys
all
cooking.
part of it.
Guys cooking.
There we go. Some spice on there. Some spice. Toss me the red wine there, please. A little more red wine.
That's about another quarter cup.
Oh yeah, I'm very liberal with my with my alcohol.
That's a bottomless bottle of wine.
But the flavor just enhances it quite a bit. Sometimes, if you want to, I have the brandy there. You can add the brandy to it also if you want.
Sure.
That's totally
Depends
up
on
to
how
you.
much kick you want.
That's right. Exactly.
Right. If you want a milder stir fry, keep the
want-
brandy out.
that's right.
If you want something with a little more bite.
Excuse me. I just want to. Yes, a little more bite. Okay, I'm adding a little more of the Worcester.
All right. Yep.
Okay.
That was a
And
teaspoon, right?
Usually, what I do is I add a little water with this.
Okay.
Done.
Good.
Just like so. A little touch more of this.
You move pretty fast when you're doing a stir fry.
I move really fast because you have to do it.
Right.
Because
gotta
if you
get
overdo
get
it or underdo it, it's
Well, that's what I noticed. The vegetables are always just right, crisp, and not overdone. And
that's right. You know, and that's the way it should be.
I think when the meat was in the pan, as soon as it was just like you say, about 2/3, 3/4
Right,
of the way
right.
finished, you pull it out, and then you
Exactly.
blend it all together again.
That's exactly right. Now here, we'll just let this get to a boil. We'll add some cornstarch to it, thicken it up, and we're going to add it to that,
Okay.
and we're done. I should check to see how my rice is doing. I just turned it off.
Now, will you do the rest of these vegetables as well? Is this kind of the whole portion, or
No, we can add. I'm going to probably
Or-
add a little bit more.
right?
Okay, so what I usually do is I cook some of them just to get all the flavors. Then I add a little bit more also to it.
Okay.
Okay?
And then when it's blended together, it's done. So if you hadn't slowed down to explain everything you were doing to me,
Mm-hmm.
you'd have had this done in about 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, 20 minutes tops. Tops. This is, other than cutting the meat that, and doing the vegetables, that's your time. Once, if that was all ready, let's say you did that the night before, and you're coming home to do you're eating in 20 minutes.
Oh, that's great.
Because that's what it takes for the rice to cook. 20 minutes,
Right. By the time that's finished,
you're
finished.
done. You're giving her.
That's right. All set.
Okay.
Well, maybe I can talk you into doing, you do so many different types of stir fries. Maybe I can talk you into using this and doing another one.
Sure, that sounds fine with me.
I'm sure we've got some kind of game around here that we can
Oh,
use.
we'll figure something out. Now, when I do the veggie here, when I'm doing these veggies, I don't add as much cornstarch to it because
Right.
you don't want it to, because you're already thick with your meat, eh?
Absolutely.
You've already got the base thickness
Yep,
with your
yeah, it's
meat,
nice and
okay?
thick.
So you just want to kind of put enough cornstarch to coat. See how the vegetables are getting coated?
Right, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how you want it. That's how you want the vegetables that are done in here, okay?
Again, one of those little things that as soon as you explain it, it means a lot to the recipe.
Oh, it's unbelievable what it does. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to add some more that
A few
aren't,
more fresh ones.
but I put them in here now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because
So that helps with the crunch.
that's right. Okay, now that's good. We got enough there. We're finished here. I'm going to dump this into there.
Can I hold something for you? You want me to do
I
the
don't
same
know.
thing here?
Yeah, we can do it together. Make it a party thing.
Makes me feel
Yay,
useful.
there we go. Look at that. There we go. Just leave that there. Now I'm going to stir this up. A lot of people think that you got to cook your vegetables with your meat, eh?
Right, the whole thing together.
Yeah, that when I first started cooking stir fries like 10 years ago, and I started doing all my own, that's how I used to do it because that was just the traditional way
You
of,
thought that was
of
how it was
doing
done,
it,
right?
eh? And I found that it was very difficult to do it because you couldn't get your consistency right on your vegetables or your meat. So I find that if you do your meat first, then you do your vegetables.
Then it's just a blend.
Once you get a big enough pot, everything's in there, you're set. It's done. You can add this to rice or whatever you want, or you can have it plain. But today we're going to have it with wild rice, and let's do up a plate, and you can
All right.
have a chaw. All right.
You know, I'd never miss that opportunity.
Well, for sure. Alrighty. We can just use this spoon here. Just veggies.
Really good.
And there we go. There's your dish. Duck stir fry.
Why'd you put it so far away?
Because
It belongs
I wanted
over
you to
here.
reach for
It
it.
belongs over here. A little bit of rice. A little bit of duck.
It's tender enough?
Way tender.
There you go.
It's excellent. Excellent, excellent. The vegetables are crunchy.
Oh, yeah.
The duck is tender.
See what happens here? The reason I put the raw vegetables the way I do in there is because it cooks on its own. Like,
Right.
because the stir fry and
The
the other
heat.
vegetables I have is hot enough. Those raw vegetables, by the time you're ready to serve it in the next 15, 5 minutes, whatever it is, those vegetables are just perfect texture. And they're just going to be just right, nice and crunchy, nice and juicy, and not falling apart on you. And you're going to enjoy the meal a lot better.
Really good.
All right, super. And now I'd like to do another variation of another stir fry. Okay, we're going to do a pheasant stir fry.
Excellent.
And that pheasant stir fry, I kind of came across it by fluke. I was doing a stir fry one day for a bunch of guys in camp, and I just didn't really know how I wanted to make it. So I started playing around, and I ended up using peppercorn ranch dressing. And I tell you, man, whew,
Oh, I can't wait to
wait
see
till
how
you
this
taste
goes.
it. Wait till you taste it. You put honey with it. You put hot spice in it.
Oh, let's get started.
Oh yeah, you bet.